Oh, I see. It was only on that other camera.
Hey, Todd Barton here from the Barton Group, Keller Williams Realty,
Hello.
another podcast. With me today, I've got in the blue shirt, Mr. Wally Hawkins.
That would be me.
As you guys are pretty normal, see this guy quite a bit. That's cool. That's all right too. And then on the other side there is the famous Stephen Moore.
Good to be here. Finally.
Yeah.
Nice to be in the office. See what it's like.
Yeah. So today we are actually in, as we've talked about several times, this little studio that we've been creating, and we're kind of getting close.
It looks nearly done.
This is the very first podcast in our studio at the brokerage we work with.
Yeah, it's still a lot of work. Like, we still have a lot to do. I
We have a lot to
I don't know
do.
if you can see, but there's still some wall treatments need to be finished and some furniture and stuff like that. We got some things to work on, but that's
And
okay.
And these lights that are lighting us on stands, they're going to go to the ceiling.
Yeah, that'll definitely be nice, right? When we finally get this whole thing set where it's in the sky and we don't have to keep tripping
Just
over
flip a
cords and
switch.
cables and all that kind of crap, right?
Let's see if it'll ever happen.
I mean, you just know something's going to change on you too. Someone's
And
going to
that's
come here
why-
in the middle of the night. They're going to change something.
That's
But
why I
that's-
say, let's see if it really happens. If it gets easier.
Well, yeah, I think you're right, Stephen. People are going to come in and change things every once in a while, and we'll just have to try to keep control of that. No big deal. It'll be okay. We'll be fine. So what's going on, Stephen? Welcome to the show, by the way.
Thank you.
It's so. By the way, Stephen's a member of my family. I won't really say how he's a member of my family, but he is absolutely a member of the family. And
Snuck in.
Snuck in. Somehow they let me in. Somehow.
You have a little different. What do they call that?
Accent?
Accent. Yeah.
It's not. There's not an accent from Utah.
Ain't a Utah accent.
No.
I know. Being here, it's kind of. I always feel like I'm trying to hide my accent a little bit more. Just because, well, especially around the words with THs or TH, as they say in America. Like, three, I usually always just say tree. That's how we say it back at home. And every time I go to say the word three, I have to think about it. And even I had to think about saying think. And I'm saying my THs as best as I can, but yeah. So it's an Irish accent.
So yeah, we should say, right, from Ireland.
Yeah.
Your whole life.
Whole life.
And
so
you decided to make the
yeah.
big move over here to the United States.
Living the dream, baby.
Yeah.
Living the dream. Living the dream.
So what's going on, Mr. Hawkins? How? So I guess we should probably talk about F1. It's over.
It's over until next year. And I don't know if I should use the word quickly or not, but they're fixing the strip and all the streets surrounding.
Yeah, I think it's kind of what we thought, right? I mean, I've read several articles recently about all of the strip hotels are saying it was a smash hit, grand slam. They were sold out. They were all the things they were trying to be.
Well, good.
Yeah, so that's good for the economy.
It's good for the economy. It's good for Las Vegas in general. I think that, along with all the other things that are happening in town, it just makes people want to move here.
Well, that could be good for us, right? I mean, finding someone who wants to move to Vegas is kind of what we do,
Right.
right? Stephen, tell me a little bit more about your move to the U.S.
Moved from Ireland, but before I moved from Ireland, I actually did a year in Dubai. So living in a desert in nearly the middle of nowhere is not completely new to me, but the move has been easier than expected. Loving Vegas way more than I knew I was going to like it a lot, but I didn't know how much I was going to love it. But loving it so far. I think moving here at a good time. Like F1 just came, new baseball team coming to town, WNBA is hitting off, NHL obviously with Stanley Cup was amazing, and then it just seems like something is moving here nearly every year. So I think I've come at the right time, and it's the new home.
Cool. And I mean, you're hanging out with my daughter, so
Yeah.
and my family. So I mean, that had to be the best move. Hey, Wally, turn off your phone. All right.
A person that's been in TV for over 30 years should have never done that.
Just called you, huh? Oh, you're the guy. Yeah, that's all right. So it's been a good move. Tell me. So a couple of days ago, you shared with me. Like your childhood home, I am assuming it's the Zillow of Ireland, but you showed it to me on a website, right? And so what's different about living in Ireland per se, Dublin, right?
Yeah.
Compared to being here in Las Vegas, and what was the transition between Dublin to Dubai, then to Vegas? Like, what's the living quarters like? What does it look like housing wise?
Dublin is kind of a funny one. Obviously, it's the capital of Ireland. Housing prices in Ireland have gone up a lot. So I think it's on average, it's about 10%, 15% more expensive on average to live in Dublin, especially.
So in comparison to other parts of Ireland?
Compared to Vegas, it's 10, 15% more expensive in Dublin. But compared to the rest of Ireland, the median house prices go down to about 320,000 euros, which is about $360,000.
360.
Yeah, 360. So it's kind of similar to Vegas in a way that once you get outside of the city, it becomes way more affordable and a lot more cheaper to live. But that being said, is a lot of companies have actually moved to Ireland, which have developed places outside of Dublin, and you are starting to see cities become more expensive on the west and in the south of Ireland too. So it's getting more expensive, but similar to everywhere at the moment.
So 360-ish is round about the median sales price in Ireland.
All of Ireland, yeah.
Yeah. So in Vegas, it's 450.
Yeah, but then in Dublin, the median house price is, I think it's sold is 450, so that's about 480 in dollars.
Okay, so it's higher than Vegas.
Yeah,
so it's
higher,
more costs more to live in Dublin than
Dublin is expensive.
Yeah.
And I mean, but that's being seen in like statistics every single year. I mean, the immigration problem we have in Ireland is huge. Loads of people moving to the US, like me. I actually have 3 friends who have married an American person in the last 3 years. Close friends.
Really?
Yeah. And they've all moved to America. One is in Arizona, one is in Maryland or West Virginia, and one is in Texas at the moment. So that's 3 people, and then everyone else is moving to Dubai. Any teacher is going to the Middle East pretty much right now in Ireland, and then Australia is pretty popular too.
Yeah, so I think we should point out that you were in Dublin you went down there to teach English, to teach school, actually, right? And you were a school teacher in Dublin, got your teaching so college is there a little different. You went to college to be a teacher there. You taught school there for X amount of years, and then you started to kind of venture out of this country.
Yeah, I've moved, so teacher, trained, taught in Dublin for about 3 or 4 years. I always wanted to move abroad to teach for a year to see what it's like. Moved to Dubai, got a little bit of a taste for what that's like. Very Americanized, I must say. And then moved here, so the plan is to hopefully do a teaching job. But when that comes around, that comes around. But I might explore my avenues in it as well. Might not necessarily teach, because it's a little bit different here compared to Ireland. Every school in Ireland is pretty much a public school, which is kind of crazy to say when moving over here, because people want to go private, people want to go to charter schools, so it's a little bit different at home. So just have to get used to the American system of schooling.
Yeah, so before you can like venture out and get a job and do the normal things of a day-to-day, you got some legality things to work out.
I got some legal stuff to do, which is
normal, right?
Yeah, all about part of growing up. So
yeah, it's all part of making the big move, right? Absolutely. Like your 3 friends, they've all got to kind of do the same thing.
They got to do it as well, but they've got it done, and Yeah, they're happily living where they are.
All right, good. Well, welcome to America. Welcome to the family. You can always refer back to this video if I ever tell you you're not a part of the family.
Yeah, I'm going to keep this against your head.
There you go. There
As
you
long
go.
as I can.
So I was, so two things I wanted to say today. One was the sphere, which we talked quite a bit about the sphere, right? They offered this amazing deal today.
I think I heard.
Did
it on
you
the
hear
radio.
about it? It was
to college kids.
any college kid
Yeah.
could go down there today at 10 o'clock and get a ticket, 2 tickets to U2.
What?
Yep. You have to have college ID,
Yeah.
but you can go down there and get 2 tickets to U2 sometime in January or February.
Mhm.
For how much do you think a ticket? $100? Now let's get
I
tickets
already
are
know.
Tickets are like at least 400.
yeah
usually.
minimum 400,
Yeah.
right? 400, and if you want to sit somewhere, okay, they're near 1,000.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So the kids, the school kids, got offered this deal. What do you think? You know the answer. You heard it. What do you think?
I have no idea.
$100? That'd be a good deal.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty good deal.
2 tickets for $200.
Yeah.
How about 2 tickets for $50?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
50?
50.
25.
What?
$25 a
Yeah.
ticket. All you need is college ID. So go down there, get your 2 tickets, and you can see U2.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Even
So
if tickets around 400 quid each, that's a great deal.
yeah. So we like the Sphere. We talked quite a bit about it, and so I thought that was really cool. I heard that on the radio today that they were setting the kids up to go watch it, and I think that's pretty cool. The other thing that I've kind of ranted on here about, and not super happy about the whole F1 thing, were the
trees?
trees in front of the Bellagio.
Mm.
They cut the damn trees down in the night. Nobody knew they were going to do
I
it.
know.
Just woke up one morning and
They
all
were gone.
all the trees are gone. Well, they're putting them back.
That's what they're saying. Now, I saw a video yesterday saying basically the same thing, and as they drove by the lake there at the Bellagio, there's still no trees there.
Yeah, are the stands down though?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
So
the stands, I think, there was a lot of stuff there still.
yeah, so they're still waiting to take the rest of the F1 stuff down, and then my guess is they'll come in and take parts of the concrete street or sidewalk out so they can put these, because they're very large box trees. I mean, they looked at like they were at least 48 inch, so they're at least 4-foot base boxes, maybe even bigger than that, 60 inch maybe. So I'm sure they have a way they're going to put those back in. So thank you, F1. Glad that you're putting the trees back in front of the Bellagio. Wally, you need to go fix the camera that keeps shutting off. Can't hire. Well, I can't switch because
Thought you were going to go to the thing. Is that working?
no, it didn't come back on.
They hit the wrong button.
All right. So anyway,
There we go.
I did see something. Even though F1 did make a bit of a mess in Vegas, it was good. Did make a bit of a mess for Vegas locals. I did see, I think it was last week or was it this week? Can't remember. I saw it on Instagram anyway. All the leftover food and drink they
Oh,
donated.
that was great.
They donated it to a drive-through pickup place, and so at least they gave back to people in need.
Yes.
oh really? I
Yeah.
did not hear that.
I saw a news story on it. I was really happy to hear
So at least
that.
they gave back.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
yeah.
so
That's cool. That's
What's
really
that
cool.
charity tree something? That charity?
Yeah, some charity.
mm.
So I will say this, we kind of expected that the locals who were up in arms over this whole thing, once it was done and over, it would kind of die off, and that's basically what's happened. You're not really hearing too many people talk about.
People like to complain.
yeah, true.
Well, that's true. Very true. Yeah, so it's kind of over. F1's gone. We'll see it again next year. Tickets are back on sale. You can buy tickets for next year already.
I think it's
Wow,
going to be
didn't
even
know
more
that.
popular next year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it is going to be more popular. I think you're going to see.
Does that mean the prices will be higher?
Yes, sir.
Well,
I don't know how they can get any higher.
we hope not, but at least next year they know what they're setting up, where,
Right.
how. It's already staged.
Right.
Instead of taking 2 months, it'll take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right.
And they don't
Set
have
it
to
up.
repay, I would imagine.
No,
Yeah,
it
I
won't
don't
be
think
as-
so
It won't be
either.
as a serious undertaking again. Like this year they were planning for the whole year, essentially. And before I came over, there was roadworks going on. Well, there's always roadworks going on in Vegas, but there's roadworks going on for F1 specifically for months before it. So it shouldn't be as bad next year. They should be used to it.
Yeah, I agree. I think next year it'll be just like every other huge event that comes here that shuts roads down, that happens all the time. I think they'll just come in, do their thing, and get it done. And it'll be more expensive likely, but it'll be a better experience. So that's all good.
There you have it. Down with one event, moving to the next.
What's next?
Besides New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve? Yeah, that's true.
Then
That's not that big of a deal, though.
I mean, then Super Bowl.
it's not that big of a deal, although that we get about 300,000 people in.
Agreed. We get a lot of people in for it, but it's very short-lived. I mean, it's there's
true. I mean,
no.
we've done it many times now. So I guess the next new thing would be the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl.
That's going to go around quick. As soon
That's
as New
February.
Year's. Yeah, February. That's going to come around quick.
Yeah. Not much of a football fan. Steven, you're a huge football fan.
Go Pack Go.
Yeah, Packers fan. Didn't even wear a Packers hat today. What is that blue hat you have on anyway?
It's Pebble Beach hat. Now,
Oh.
did I go to Pebble Beach?
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
But I got the hat.
You
I got the hat.
probably found that in a little thrift store
I
somewhere
got it. That's exactly where I got it. I got a
Yeah.
thrift store. You know me.
in Pennsylvania.
No, I actually got it in Vegas.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I got it in
All
Vegas.
right,
Yeah.
all right, that's cool. All right, so you are finally getting rid of that property out there in Pahrump.
Have that one closing.
Yeah.
I have a couple of new buyers that want to find some houses fairly quickly.
Yeah. So are we? What? Tell me what your gut feeling is about like buyer activity. Has it changed in the last few weeks?
I don't think it's changed in the last few weeks, no. These are a couple people I've known for several years. But I do believe that it's going to change this coming year.
Okay. Why?
The interest rates is not going to go back up.
As someone, I don't own a home yet. I'm waiting to buy a home.
You got some legalities.
I
to
got
work
I got some stuff to check off first before I get a home. But as someone who is not in the market, I won't be in the market for a while. But I've never owned a home. Why, or how has interest rates pushed people out, or how many people has it pushed out in terms of Vegas, or if you know those numbers?
I don't know how many people it's pushed out, but it's put the brakes on 80% of the buyers maybe, and that's a guess. It's nothing I've read, but based on how the market slowed down so much, there's not a lot of inventory. So I think it's slowed down most of the buyers, but that was the intent.
Yeah, that was an inflation issue, right? That the government was trying to lower inflation, raise inflation, lower inflation. It was too high. They're trying to lower it. So one way they do that is by raising interest rates on money. And so what happened here, by the way, and I know you weren't here yet, but like October of 2022, prior to that, there were an abundance of buyers. I mean, there were more buyers than probably most agents could actually handle. And interest rates started to go up. They went up very rapidly. And about October-ish, the faucet was shut off.
Okay.
Like
Brakes
it
were
really,
on.
yeah, I got to tell you that your 80% is probably pretty close, right? The people that are buying, that have been buying for the past year and a half, are the people that absolutely have to. They don't have a choice. Like they've got some kind of life change that's happened. They've got a job transfer. They've got to move here. They've gotten married. Whatever that looks like, a divorce. They've had some major life activity or change happen that's caused them to have to actually purchase a home or sell a home.
But with those, if you say 80% of people are gone to the sidelines now, eventually they're going to come back in.
Correct.
What does that mean for the market then?
Well, that's a great question. And everybody that's been saying, oh, we want the interest rate to go down. Well, as the interest rate goes down, the other side of the coin is the house prices start to rise again. So we have a little issue there. So we just have to keep our eyes on it, I think, and jump quickly.
Yeah, I think I've been selling real estate for a little while in my life, watching these trends up and down. And I lived through, I was in real estate back when the whole housing thing crashed in '06 and '07. And, I listen to people nowadays and they're, I'm going to buy a house, but I'm waiting for the market to crash.
Yeah.
Right, the market's going to crash. I'm some kind of expert that I've never bought a house before in my entire life, but I'm waiting for the market to crash so I can go buy a house. Look, the reality is it would be very difficult. It would take some catastrophic event to cause housing to crash. Let me give you an example. Could we consider COVID catastrophic?
Yes.
Like that was a major event in the United States.
Yeah.
And the
it
world,
didn't
in the
crash.
world, of course. No, it had the opposite effect.
They shut down everything.
But housing went up super fast during COVID. There were more people buying homes in 2021 than there were in 20, than there was in 19, and then of course it shut down there towards the end. So, this theory of I'm waiting for the market to crash. I mean, I always like to ask the question, like, why do you think the market's going to crash? Because we don't have any inventory. We don't have any houses for sale. And the reality is we're probably 2 to 3 million homes behind demand. And what I mean by that is
The whole country.
yeah, the whole country. We talk about the people that are going to get married. We talk about the people that families that are splitting up and families that are coming together and growing. We need more homes for those people to live in, right? And the new home builders just aren't building them fast enough, and they can't, right? Labor's been a problem. Supply chain's been a problem. Like they're falling further and further behind about the number of homes they can supply to the country in a year's time. And so the theory that the market's going to crash is a very hard theory to believe because it's basic economics. It's called supply and demand, right? So
Tough one to understand.
demand says that there's more people that need to buy homes than there are homes available. That which will keep pricing going up. And we're seeing it in Vegas right now. We're seeing pricing going up every month. We're not seeing anything slowing down when it comes to pricing going up, right? So you're right, Wally. As we get lower interest rates, we have more buyers that are going to jump back into the market, right? All that's going to do is drive homes up because there'll be less of them available. More buyers buy more homes, less are available. That causes prices to go up. It causes that ridiculous overbidding that, I got to pay $40,000 or $50,000 more for the home.
Let's hope we don't get back to that extreme.
Well, I hope we don't either because it's very hard to navigate for buyers.
Yeah.
I mean,
And then again, we're right back to losing buyers.
what do you mean?
When the houses get to the point the seller says, I don't care what the appraisal is, you're going to pay X over.
Yeah, so we lose buyers because they don't have cash on hand.
Correct.
Right. So the people that don't have cash available to overpay, and they're still complaining about the interest rate, are putting themselves in a very bad position because they can't buy because of interest rate, they can't buy because they don't want to overbid. They're basically just going to be renters the rest of their life.
Well, let's talk about the interest rate for a second because I don't believe it's ever going to go back down to 3, 2.8, 3.5. I don't think they're going to let the interest rate drop below 5 this time around.
Yeah, certainly not in our lifetime.
Well, what I've been reading is it might get down to 5.5 by the end of 2025.
Yeah, I've heard the same. I can believe that. I don't think they're going to let it come down super fast. Like when it got down to 2 or 3, we would see, half a point drops in a week, right? I don't think that's going to. I think you're right. It's going to come down very slowly, and The bottom line is people will need to buy when they need to buy, and they'll sell when they need to sell.
Well, that's all true too. But like you said at the very beginning of this, there's always going to have to be some amount of buyers and some amount of sellers because life continues.
Yeah, because of life events and things like that. So there's always going to be supply. There's always going to be demand. It's just those two things will
always be changing.
Always
It'll never be the
dictate.
same every year. It'll be different.
Yeah, will always dictate price. Do they? So any idea in like the Dublin area? Is there a lot of homes for sale? Do you have any idea?
No, especially when I was living there, we also have the same issue in terms of the demand is always exceeding the supply. Like house prices have gone up since COVID. I think about 30%.
Wow.
No, you would have to fact check me on that, but they have gone up a lot in Dublin, especially.
Well, don't worry, someone's already fact checking you on that.
Please do, please do. I would like to know the precise figures, but
They will make a comment.
hopefully so. But always in Dublin, especially, there's always buyers. People in the ages of 22 to 27 simply just can't afford homes at the moment in Dublin. And as a teacher as well, luckily enough, I'm from Dublin, but people from down the country, from Cork, Kerry, they move up to Dublin, and first-time teachers are barely able to live on the salary that they make and pay for rent. So, like, I think prices will kind of level out in Dublin. I don't think they'll come back down a little or at all. But hopefully they'll slowly rise than what they've done in the past, because young people just can't afford it at the moment in Dublin.
Yeah, I think I was with an agent that I coach the other day, and we were looking at his personal home. He's getting ready to sell his house and move, and he wanted my opinion on what I thought it was worth. And in the process of just kind of working through it with him, we learned that over the last 24 months, his home has increased in value by 22%.
Wow.
In 2 years, 22% increase. Imagine if that happens again. I mean, imagine if it's half of that, 12%. That's double the national average. So, yeah, I don't know that we're going to have a big housing meltdown like everyone's out there hoping that we're going to have.
I don't see that coming. I do. Well, it's already happened. The interest rate, I think, reached a high of 8.03, and that was around September, I think. It's already almost down 1 point, the interest rate.
Where are we today? Do you know?
I think we're at 7.15.
Okay. So my prediction has always been that when we get down to between 7 and 6.5, when we get into the sixes and it gets to 6.5, I think the housing market's going to take off again.
Well, I think it's going to be in the sixes by the beginning of January.
Good. So we'll be right on schedule. The trend in Vegas for every year that I've ever been in real estate, which is a few, I always mark it by Valentine's Day. It seems like the market stays very quiet around Thanksgiving, Christmas, January. Around February 14th or 15th, around Valentine's Day, we really start to see people start to stir, and the market really starts to accelerate during that time.
Valentine's Day is what, April? I forgot.
No, February.
Is it February? I don't know. What do
Didn't
I
I
know?
say February 14th
Yeah.
or 15th? Yeah,
I-
February.
It's around.
It's not like I was listening to you or anything.
He needs to get some love in his life, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not just my dog.
Don't be looking over here.
Hey, it's been
All
a
right.
while.
So,
This is going the wrong direction. Can you save us?
yeah, you guys are sitting too close to each other. Can you guys?
Who's
Well-
touching my knee?
All right, so nothing's changed in housing. We're still at over 7%. Things are
Just
a
a
bit
little
slow.
bit over 7 now.
Yeah,
Not a
things
lot.
are a bit slow. The city of Las Vegas is killing it right now. I mean, as you pointed out, coming in from out of state or out of the country, Vegas has everything going for it. Literally everything. There's jobs, there's work, there's activity.
It's quite amazing. This town, everybody, for years have said how amazing this town is, but it truly right now, it's
It
probably
just-
more so than any other country in any other town in our country or in the world. I mean, it's just blowing up here.
Yeah, we're really starting to accelerate. And so real quick, we're running out of time, but Stephen, you recently went up with another member of our family and looked at some houses in a place called Summit.
Oh yeah.
What was that like?
That was real good. It's whoever doesn't know what Summit is, it's like essentially you buy a plot of land, right?
Yep.
You buy a plot of land and then you get a custom home built on that plot of land. I went up to see a house with Brock, and he was showing me around the house, and it's nowhere near finished, but they have a basement. In the basement they have their own private car wash, they have a driving range, and they have a 5-car garage, and they have like a studio for a gym essentially. So it's like, and you're overlooking a golf course.
That's where Mark Wahlberg moved to, right?
Yeah, he's moving up there.
Yeah.
He's
See,
actually bought a piece of land up there.
Yeah, he's sold his condo, which we've talked about before, and he is moving into Summit, and Summit's kind of the premier
It's beautiful.
part of Vegas right now.
It's beautiful.
Great views. It's up on the side of the mountain.
Yeah, and like it's just peaceful up there. You're almost like the kings up there, like looking down across the whole valley, and it's just quiet. It's peaceful. You can just do whatever you please up there, and so hopefully I get up there one day in the house.
I hope you do too.
You can get up there.
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit here. So yeah, that's a cool part of town. Summit, the brand new kind of new builds going on. Foley, the owner of the Knights, he's got 5 acres and a house up there that he's living
How
on.
much that costs?
Yeah, we could find out. It's a public record.
That's true, but
All right, so welcome to the new studio.
I like it.
Next time we go live, we hope to have it 100% complete, but we're getting there.
Yeah,
and it's going to work out good.
thank
Hey,
you for having me.
yeah, thanks for coming on. It's
Appreciate
I give Stephen a little too much hell, but it's okay.
so why should he be any different than anybody else?
It's absolutely true. You're absolutely not wrong.
Remember he told me I'm always welcome in his family.
Yes,
We're
and
not
if you,
letting that
Until
go.
this thing goes
We're not
off.
letting this go.
and you can refer back to this if you want to.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Reach out to us if you need some help with some real estate. You got to buy or sell a house or rent or literally anything that you need housing wise. If it's just a question, reach out. We're happy to help. See you guys.
See you.
Bye.